Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्रील प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी Hare Krishna. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, entitled as Lord Rishabhadeva's Teachings. Verse number 26. Sharvani madhishyantaya bhavadis Charani bhutani sutta dhruvani Sambhavitavyani pade padevo Vivikda drigbis tatyud harhanam me Sarvani madrishyantaya bhavadis Charani bhutani sutta dhruvani Sambhavitavyani pade padevo Vivikta drigbis tat udharhanam me Vivek dribikstat uhardanhanam me Sarvani madhishyantaya bhavadis Charani bhutani sutta dhruvani Sambhavitavyani pade padevo Vivikta drigbis tadu haram anamme. Word by word meaning. Somebody would like to? Sarvani madrishyantaya bhavadis Sarani bhutani sutta dhruvani Sambhavitavyani pade padevo Haranam me Sarvani mastintayata bhavandis. Sarani bhutani suta dhruvani. Sambhavitavyani pade padevo. Vivik durbhikta udharanam me. Okay, word by word meaning. Sarvani, all. Mat drishyantaya, because of being my sitting place. Bhavadbi, by you. Charani, that move. Bhutani, living entities. Sutaha, my dear sons. Dhruvani, that do not move. Sambhavitavyani, to be respected. Pade pade, at every moment. Vaha, by you. Vivik durbhihi, possessing clear vision and understanding that the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His Paramatma feature is situated everywhere. Tathu, that indirectly. Ha, certainly. Harhanam, offering respect. May, and to me. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Ajnanatimurandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sabitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadanti Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Shahrajadham Sahana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kam karoti vachalam pangum langayati girim yatkripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Harihi Om Tat Sat. I read the translation. My dear sons, you should not envy any living entity, be he moving or non-moving, knowing that I am situated in them. You should offer respect to all of them at every moment. In this way, you offer respect to me. Purport. In this verse, the word Vivik Durbhi, meaning without envy, is used. All living entity are the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His Paramatma feature. As confirmed in Brahma Samhita, Andantarastam Paramanu Chayantarastam. The Lord is situated in this universe as Garbhodakashaya Vishnu and Shirodakashaya Vishnu. He is also situated within every atom. According to the Vedic statement, Isha Vasham Idam Sarvam. The Supreme Lord is situated everywhere, and wherever is situated is His temple. We even offer respect to a temple from a distant place, and all the living entities should similarly be offered respect. This is different from the theory of pantheism, which holds that everything is God. Everything has a relationship with God because God is situated everywhere. We should not make any particular distinction between the poor and rich like a foolish worshippers of Daritra Narayana. Narayana is present in the rich as well as the poor. One should not simply think Narayana is situated among the poor. He is everywhere. An advanced devotee will offer respect to everyone, even to cats and dogs. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Astini Sunichaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshana. The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater outcast. Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, 18th verse. This Samadarshana, equal vision, should not be mistaken to mean that the individual is the same as the Supreme Lord. They are always distinct. Even individual person is different from Supreme Lord. It is a mistake to equate the individual living entity with the Supreme Lord on the play of Viktadrik, Samadrik. The Lord is always an exalted position. Even though he agrees to live everywhere, Srila Madhvacharya, quoting Padma Purana, states, Vivikta Drishti, Jivanam Drishyataya Parameshvarasya Veda Drishti. One who has clear vision and who is devoid of envy can see that the Supreme Lord is separate from all living entities, although he is situated in every living entity. Madhvacharya further quotes from Padma Purana, Upapadayat Paramatmanam Jivebhyu ye Pade Pade Bedenaiva na Chaitasmat Priyo Vishnostu Kaschana. One who sees the living entity and the Supreme Lord as always distinct is very dear to the Lord. Padma Purana also states, Yo Hares Chaiva Jivanam Veda Vakta Hare Priyaha. One who preaches that the living entities are separate from Supreme Lord is very dear to Lord Vishnu. Okay. So yesterday we were discussing, so here Rishabhadev is giving instruction to his 100 sons, and we discussed many instructions. Yesterday also he was discussing about, we were discussing about the 25th verse. In the 25th verse, Rishabhadev was discussing about the superiority of the Brahmana and what is their wealth we discussed, and particularly what is it, Akinchananam Bhakti Bhajam we discussed yesterday. So today some more instruction is giving to his sons. What is that? That is about envy. Rishabhadev is giving about the envy, and what is the antidote to that? Respect. Both is giving. This is a beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a beauty of our the instruction from Bhagavatam. It gives the problems what we have, and it gives a solution also. Just the only problem, there is no solution. We don't know. We don't know what to do. But in Bhagavatam, it gives, this is the problem and this is the solution also. So Supreme Lord is telling that about the envy. So we should not have envy on any living entity, as well as we should respect. Because why we have to respect? Because I am situated in everyone's heart. So basically the respect goes to not that person, it goes to the Supreme Lord indirectly. That's what here mean. So Prabhupada, when I was hearing Prabhupada lecture about this, Prabhupada mentions that Krishna is everywhere. We can see Krishna everywhere. But why we are not able to see Krishna everywhere? The reason behind is envy. Why we are here is because of envy. The reason we are here is envy. That is why we are here. Okay, what is the definition of envy? Any idea? Sorry? Yeah, yeah. Then what is the difference between jealous and envy? Ah. Yes. I also, you shouldn't have. I only should have. That is a envy. This is very, what is it? Very intense of jealous. Jealous is just okay. He is having, I also should have something. But here, I only should have, you should not have. You should not have, right? I only enjoy, this person should not enjoy. That's a very intense of jealous. So, we all discussed kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, macharya, right? These are 6 vices, right? These are all actually, we see these are all, each and every one is graded. Lust is the starting point. And then next is anger. Anger consists of lust also. Anger consists of, this is mentioned in Sajjana Toshani, anger consists of lust also. Because of lust you are getting anger, right? So next one is what? Greed. Because of lust and anger you are becoming greed. So the greed has both lust and anger. The greed has that. Next one is illusion. The illusion has all 3 previous one. That is there. That is why you become illusioned. We have a greed, we have a lust, we have a anger, now we become illusioned. Because of the illusion, we become pride. Pride, that is a pride. So envy is all 5 included in this. So envy is summum bonum of all 5. So the topmost thing is envy, so it is summum bonum. So how we can get rid of this envy? Now the next question, how we can get rid of this envy? So this is what we have to do. The thing is that everything belongs to the Lord. That is why frequently we discuss, right? Everything belongs to Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. Everything belongs to the Lord. It is theory now. But slowly we have to see that vision. We have to change that vision. Everything belongs to the Lord. Right? How we can do that? There are we have to understand, we have to use our senses for the Lord's services. That is what even, Ambrish Maharaj was using his feet for walking to the temple like this. So the best thing is tasting prasadam, best thing is hearing and chanting. This process is given, right? So by doing this and by knowledge, by understanding that nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Lord, then our position will be revealed. If our position is not revealed, then we think we are pride and finally it becomes envy. Once I understand our position, I am nothing, I am also belong to the Lord, my body also belongs to the Lord, everything, this world belongs to the Lord, then we started seeing that everything belongs to the Lord. By doing that, our position is revealed, then we become humble. Or otherwise, there is no way to get rid of this envy, right? So if you see many people like in a present world, equality, equal opportunity, now they discuss, right? In US also they start black and white are all equal, and they tried many ways. Women and men are equal. So whoever start this kind of equality, that is in the bodily platform, that never be success. It cannot be success. But if you see in Krishna consciousness, we are seeing that the higher platform, soul level, everybody is equal, right? That platform, if you see all black people, white people, whatever color people, brown people, pinkish people, all people come together and chant, dance and feast, everything will happen. Because this is the highest platform we have. In this platform, when we say equality, that's the Pandita Samadarshana. But here Prabhupada mentions we are all equal, we have to see the equal vision, but we should differentiate the Supreme Lord. That is why our Vedic scripture very clearly says that if you see there are 2 birds sitting in our heart, one is super soul, another one is our soul, and the super soul. What is the job of super soul there? Anumanta Upadrashta, just guiding and watching. These two things does there. So in this way, if we understand, we can become humble, or otherwise this envy, slowly it will become pride and become envy, and then we started offending all the people. So this is one way. And how to understand the respect? Here, two things. One is envy, we were discussing. Another one is respect. Any relationship, if you talk about, it starts with respect. If you want maintain some relationship, any living entity, you should start with respect. Without respect, it's a fabric. What do you say? It's a fabric of relationship. The respect is a fabric of relationship. Like if you make a cloth, there is one thread will go like this, one thread will go like this, but the relationship should be there. That relationship, then only you can make a cloth. So if you want to have a relationship with the people, first you have to start with respect. That is why here Rishabhadev is teaching. That is very, very basic. Normally we talk about mutual respect, elder respect, and what do you say, respect to the parent and all. But here the universal instruction is given. Each and every living entity you have to respect. It's a universal instruction. Not only human being, every living entity. Even if you see Andastara Paramanu Sayantam, so every atom as Krishna, Paramatma is sitting. So this is a universal instruction. So we should understand that we should respect. Then only you can understand the relationship, the loving relationship, right? Or otherwise, it is very, very difficult. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said that Amanina Manadena Kirtanya Sadahari. So the Amanina Manadena, the loving relationship there, then only we can do that. We can do Kirtanya Sadahari. Or otherwise, it is not possible. So now we are talking about the loving relationship, not only living entity. When you do that, we have to understand, I am giving respect to the Supreme Lord, then you can able to enable that loving relationship with Supreme Lord. This is the best way. So even if you see Krishna says Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshu Arjuna says, like, so I'm sitting in everyone's heart. He's sitting in everyone's heart. And wherever we are going, he's coming. Why? He has a love with us. But we are not having love. That is why we are not able to see, because we have envy on Supreme Lord and we are not able to see the Supreme Lord. It is covered. He is sitting as Paramatma feature in our heart. You know how Paramatma feature will be in Ishopanishad book, you see? That is how the Paramatma is there in our heart. Once Bhakti Charu Maharaj was taking that book, went to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, this is how Paramatma is there in your heart, in our heart. Prabhupada says, yes, but in your heart, 200 form of Krishna is there. Prabhupada mentioned. This was mentioned by Bhakti Charu Maharaj, because the devotee's heart, once you become pure devotee, like you will get Krishna in your heart. Right now, Paramatma will be there, everybody, right? So this is a nice exchange between Prabhupada and Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So now we understand that Supreme Lord everywhere, and we have to maintain a good relationship. Now we are all contaminated now. Right? We are all contaminated in our heart. That is why we are not able to see the Lord. So how to purify that? What is the way to purify? So the way to purify is, first thing is we have to, we have to start hearing or giving submissive hearing or respecting Srimad Bhagavatam, our scriptures and our acharyas, like Rupa Goswami, all Parampara Acharyas. So this way we can enable our respect to other living entities also. The starting is hearing from our Acharyas and respect to Srimad Bhagavatam, respect to our scriptures. So in this way we can start enable. Right? This way we can enable. The the purification should happen, but while doing this, what happens? Slowly we are entering into that. We are entering into that. Then only our chanting and hearing will happen. Basic is respect. Without respect, your chanting and hearing, nothing will happen. One of the Bhava, the first canto, Prabhupada mentioned, we should hear with a rapt attention, Srimad Bhagavatam. We should hear with a rapt attention. You remember? So then Prabhupada mentioned, there is a sloka, you should hear with a rapt attention. That sloka itself is there. Prabhupada writes, how to hear with a rapt attention. So basically, you have to purify these four things. What is that? Sleeping, mating, defending, and eating. This if you make proper, then what happens? Your mind will be purified. Then your activity will be purified. Then only you can hear Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention. So that is what we are doing. Because we are hearing the instruction of Acharya, when you do that, then you can understand. Or otherwise, we cannot understand. It is like a cloud, covered, right? Basically, if you see, our Acharya has given very nice process, like a train going, the traditional train. I'm not talking about monorail and all. The traditional train has two tracks, right? One is, so any one path is not proper, then it will derail. Similarly, when we practice bhakti, one is Cheto Darpana Marjanam. We have to clean our heart. The other one is knowledge. That is Srimad Bhagavatam, reading. So, the cleaning and then direction towards Goloka. This is what we have to do. The cleaning has to happen parallelly, as well as direction also has to happen. Many people think that, okay, chanting is enough, I will do. No, where is the direction? You don't have a direction, right? So, if you are very much convinced, that is different. But we need a direction. That direction is given by the scripture, particularly Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So, when you do that, then we can able to practice bhakti very nicely. Without that direction, we cannot do that. For example, if you see in olden days, the king's hall, basically this body is this body is symbol of our sinful or our envy or whatever you call, but this is what it is. This body is that. This is a flag. Prabhupada, one of the spiritual master mentioned, this is like a flag. So the king has flag, right? King while going, he has a flag. Similarly, that soldiers also have some flags. So this is a flag of our sin. We are carrying, but we are proud of this flag, this body. But this is a flag. The soul is embraced inside now, like with this body. But one good thing is we have got this human form, this is the highest form now. So with this, we can do some devotional service. Okay, the best way to show respect to the people is in the form of service. Just respect in the behavior, but not in the what is it, essence. If this essence is, should come from the internally, not just by behavior. Behavior, if you see, so okay, I am contaminated now. By how I am practicing Haribol Prabhu, Haribol Prabhu. That's a behavior, but internally not cleaned. That has to happen. That if really has to happen, we have to do in the form of service. In the form of service. So now, each and every living entity has Krishna. So we have to respect each and everybody. So better. So the highest level is all living entities, but at least specifically for devotees, we have to respect. We have to give the respect. At least we should do obeisances when you see in the morning. That will be great. Because this is the instruction of the Supreme Lord. You respect. See, this is what it is. What do you mean by shelter of the Lord? Shelter of the Lord means following His instructions, right? When we are following the instruction of the Lord, that means you have taken shelter of the Lord. If you are not following the instruction of the Lord, and I want shelter, nothing happened. You have to follow the instruction of the Lord. The instruction is very clear. You offer respect to all the living entities. But for that you may ask question like, okay, cats and dogs also I can do. Now maybe tiger or all things. No, it is not necessary. But you should have that vision everywhere Krishna is there, we should not feel envy on that particular living entity. We should not feel like, we should not think anything bad about that, anything ill about that living entity or anything, even snake, let it go, that's all. Best example is, if you see Haridas Thakur, when he was chanting in the cave, there was a snake, right, big snake, and the other, what do you say, many people comes to see or talk to Haridas Thakur. At that time they were worrying, so big snake, there was bad smell is coming inside the cave, and then they were telling to Haridas Thakur, please you go out, because there is snake is there, big snake is there. Then Haridas Thakur was telling, okay, I will think I'll go. But see, the Paramatma feature working on the snake also, the next day onward the snake won't be there, it won't come, it didn't come to the cave, that's all. So this is how it is. When we are not envy of any living entity, other living entity will not do anything harm to us. That's all. Very simple, right? So this envy is the one which is covering, and we are not able to see Krishna in this world. But we have to change our vision now. We know, we have knowledge now. We have knowledge. Because of envy, I am not able to see everywhere Krishna. So the solution also is be given. What is that? We have to give the respect. So at least you start with the devotees. Every devotees who are practicing, even in Upadeshamrita, I told, what is it, Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. So Kanishtadhikari, whoever chants is Kanishtadhikari. Whoever like this, so 3 levels, right? So anyone who chants you, but there it mentioned, at least in the mentally you offer respect in Upadeshamrita, and for those who are initiated, that means they are fixed in Krishna consciousness, you have to do obeisances physically, and Uttamadhikari, you have to serve him, not only obeisances, you have to serve them. But this instruction, whatever Rishabhadev is given, this is for Uttamadhikari level. See, the Uttamadhikari sees everywhere Krishna, but we are not in that position. That is why the Bhagavatam reading and all the things we needed. So slowly we can purify ourselves. This instruction is for Uttamadhikari level, but we are not in that position. But we are endeavoring go to that position, right? Endeavoring go to that position and practice saying that we have to give up this envy. How to give up? By respecting. So basically, this is an antidote, very nice antidote actually. Like, if we have, when we are giving respect, then only the relationship build. When the relationship build, then what is it? So then the loving relationship starts. When loving relationship start, then what happens? Our Krishna conscious develops, because we start expressing our love to other devotees, and he is also expressing his love to us, and start discussing about Krishna, and then what happens? It keep on growing. Our respect towards the Lord, respect to other people, devotees as well as living entities, growing. While doing this, what happens? The chanting and hearing and all the things will improve. So the root cause is envy. To avoid that respect, with that we can develop chanting, reading, hearing, everything will happen properly. If you say, I'm not able to chant properly, that means we have not given proper respect to the people, devotees. This is very basic. It's very basic. Respect is very, very basic. Right? This is very basic and very important. Respect is very basic and very important. And that will enable us to have a loving relationship with the people, with the living entities. Or otherwise, there is no enablement. So, first thing is respect. How to give the respect? Not only mentally, by behaviorally, by serving. By serving, we can get nice relationship. So this is what we have to do while practicing bhakti. So I remember one story, like there was some sculpture, and you all may know this story. Normally this is, we used to tell for the leaders, Bhakti Riksha leaders, but I'll tell here also. So what happens, there is one sculpture and there is a donkey. So the sculpture carved that deity, and then you want to take that, you want to deliver that deity to the owner. So he took that deity on the donkey, and while walking on the way, everybody started respecting obeisances, doing obeisances. The donkey thinks that they are giving so much respect, so happy it was walking so enthusiastically. Once it reaches to the owner, delivered that deity. While coming back, nobody is giving respect, nobody doing obeisances. This donkey is not moving at all. Why is they not giving respect? Without respect, I will not move. Then this warder, that sculpture, take a stick, beat nicely, and then run. It ran. So why people are giving respect to us? Sometimes people respect too much, right? Sometimes because you are all practicing bhakti. That respect is to Supreme Lord, because you are practicing bhakti, not we as a soul. That is for you are trying to access Krishna in your heart. So people, your behavior, your love towards the living entity is changing, and then people started giving respect. That respect, don't think that it is for us. It become pride again when we come. Okay, so we should not do that. This is for the Lordship. Somebody fall down at our feet, immediately we offer through our Guru. That means it to go to Krishna. So the respect is for only Krishna, not for any time is not for us. We should understand this. Any respect the people giving, they may not know. Out of respect to us in the bodily platform, they may give respect. But that respect is only for Krishna. So here the Rishabhadev establishing that this respect is to only for Krishna, right? So so we have to give up this envy, and this envy is cause for our coming here is, I'm just summarizing, the envy is the cause for all other things. And when we practice bhakti, this is a very, very basic. To the antidote which is given by Lord Rishabhadev is respect. By respect, we can build a loving relationship. By building that loving relationship, we can chant nicely, we can hear nicely, we can understand Krishna nicely. Then we can give up our envy, and then we can see Krishna everywhere. Right? I stop here. Any questions or comments? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you for the nice thoughts, very nice points. So one of the points you mentioned is that when we are not envious of any other living entity, so any other living entity won't also harm us. Like you gave the example of Haridas Thakur, that the snake automatically went away just so that he can do his bhajan nicely, peacefully. But then how we understand the lifetimes of, like when we see Prabhupada or Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they faced many troubles, though they were also pure devotees, non-envious. They were attacked, and someone even tried to kill Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So they were non-envious, and yet people were trying to harm.
Okay, very nice question. So Lord giving this kind of things either to glorify or normally karma, but for our acharyas to glorify. So if you see, so basically we should understand for us also, Lord gives trouble to us two reasons. One reason is purify, other reason is to glorify. These are the only reason devotee undergo. There is no other reason. From Nectar of Devotion it is mentioned. There is no other reason devotee should undergo sufferings. So if you see Acharya's perspective, only for glorification. It is not, they are Nitya Siddhas, they come here to give or deliver us, to give this knowledge, to give this practice, Krishna consciousness, they come here. So if he is not undergone this much, sometimes we also feel that he was so sophisticated, he was living nicely, but I am not that position. So he gave the example, the Krishna wanted to make sure all the things, all the elements in his life, so that we should not take excuse and then leave from Krishna consciousness. So that is the best part of it. So similarly, whenever the devotees undergo also, we should see as it's a Lord's mercy only. It's Lord's mercy. That is a fact. It is not something like assumption, something speculation. No, it is a fact. The fact is that whenever devotee undergoes something reversals, It's Lord's mercy. Either our previous karma, which Krishna reduces, you can able to manage. Krishna always give that suffering, you can able to manage. That is the level it give. And other way is purify only. So both are Krishna's mercy. So the devotees, what they do is, they don't worry about these sufferings. Their only worry is service. Yesterday also we discussed, right? We have to. So they keep on continuing uninterrupted service to the Lord. This is the Lord's problem. Lord only give her the problem, and He only solve the problem. Now my job is only solve. That is how we have to do it. So in that way, if you understand Acharya's things, it is for glorification of the Lord, devotees. So Lord has so much indebted to the devotees, like particularly the Acharyas. So you want to glorify nicely. That is one. Even if you see, I thought of an example, Ramanujacharya. If now also you go to Srirangam, the Srirangam, every day evening, there is outer, the Lord will come, they glorify Ramanujacharya in front of the Lord. Every day it is happening there also. So the outside prakara, they will go. Lord will be. When Ramanujacharya was there at that time, the devotees started glorifying Ramanujacharya in front of the Lord. But Ramanujacharya was not happy with that, and he was scolding the devotees. Why are you glorifying me in front of the Lord? Then the Lord came to Ramanujacharya, told, you don't come next day onwards. Let them glorify. So that is the situation. Now also if you see there every day they go and glorify Ramanujacharya in front of the Lord. So Lord likes the glorification of the devotees. So however you are glorifying the devotees, Lord will be pleased. So that is, when you glorify, our all bad qualities will go away. That is what it is. That is a respect. When we respect the devotees, then all things will go, and then we are trying to access Krishna now. So I hope I answered your question, Prabhu. Yes. Okay. 9:30. We have 5 more minutes. Anybody want to like to share? No. Okay, fine. Close. Yes. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a nice class. So that was a nice discussion about the envy and how to overcome the envy. So you mentioned very nice points about that. And as a practicing devotee, so as Shabdev said, like, we are there in this world because of we are envious of the Lord. So no one can argue on this saying that I am not envious. Somewhere or other we have that kind of envious nature. So only we came out of that spiritual world. So to that Rishabdev gives very nice antidote is like we should respect each and every living entity, moving or non-moving. So we should respect them. So especially we see in our teachings, like in ISKCON, no, not that we only respect Lord. Lord means like Lord's, like form, pastimes, and even dham, devotees, and paraphernalia of the Lord. So means like in that teachings we can see like we are not only respecting the living entities, but even non-living entities also we are respecting. And we see like they are the expansions of the Lord, so we should respect nicely and take care of it nicely. Even especially when I am going through this deity worship training, so their first thing they teach me like how to respect the paraphernalia of the Lord. Then only you can understand how to respect the Lord. So no one will allow us to directly approach the Lord and serve directly. So first thing what they give is like go and do vessel cleaning. So whatever the paraphernalia of the Lord is there, so that has to be washed nicely. And they see like how much love and care you have, so that much nicely you wash it. So that then generally they see. So in that way, is a nice teachings like Prabhupada has given us, Acharyas, like not that we only focus on one thing and neglect other things. because like they're watching us and they know that they're notifying that he's very nice devotee, he's serving nicely, but others you are neglecting, but Lord is watching it. Not your authorities may not be watching, but Lord is watching. So he is there in Paramatma everywhere. So he knows our dual nature, how we are. So that's very nice. And the thing, one more thing you mentioned very nicely, that Vaishnava etiquette, if someone is respecting us, then we don't accept it. So we pass on to spiritual master and to the Lord. Not that if we accept, if someone is bowing us to us, and if we accept, then definitely we'll going to get a sin. So, but we pass on to the that whatever glory is glorified they do, glorification they do, or whatever respects they give. So it is not that to me. It is because of the mercy of my spiritual master. They are seeing that and giving. And when we respect others by seeing the supreme Lord inside Paramatma. So if someone is bowing us to us, then we should also remember immediately the Lord and spiritual master. So in that way, we can be saved, or else simply we get accept the sin. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Shruti, for the very nice class. And giving respect is the most this thing most important thing, and it's the most basic thing that everyone should do. And you gave nicely the flow, how starting with the lust, the how lust, and the envy is the samambolam of all the anarthas. And you also gave the solution for envy, that is giving respect. So by both the ways, by behavior and through service. So externally by behavior, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, something I can tell, but internally I may not be pure. By rendering service, I can purify myself, and I'm showing that respect to that other devotee, that I'm respecting you. And by giving this respect, automatically our relationship is built nicely, and Krishna will be pleased by seeing the nice relationship between the devotees, and he only helps us more to progress more and more in the practice of bhakti. And goal is one, to attain Krishna, to render all service to him all the time, and that can be done only when I'm giving respect to living entities, paraphernalia, everything which is belong to him. And of course it's quite difficult, at least for me, to show respect to others. I'll pray to the Lord and also request all the devotees to please pray for me, so that I can give respect to the paraphernalia, that everything belongs to Lord, and service nicely, and may progress in the spiritual life. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So very nice points. One you mentioned how these anarthas like the pride, anger, greed, and envy includes everything, all the anarthas. This is a saman bhavana of all the anarthas, and that's why we say that in the spiritual world only envy can't be used. Like other things we can use in Lord's service, but envy is the one thing we can't use in Lord's service, and that's why it's very important to get rid of it. And you give the antidote, that is respecting, and respecting each and every living entity, understanding that everyone, like the Supreme Lord, is present as Paramatma in all the living entities, be it non-moving or moving entities. And especially when it comes to devotees, we have to give respect to them. And unless we give proper respect, even all the our sadhana like chanting and hearing, we won't be able to do nicely. We won't get taste unless we respect each and every devotee. And second thing is respecting the acharyas, submissively hearing from the acharyas, respecting the scriptures. So basically respecting all the, as others also mentioned, respecting all the paraphernalias related to the Lord and all the devotees, then we'll be able to understand, when we will be able to make progress on the path of this. Because enviousness will be there unless and until we respect everything, all the entities, and then we'll be able to get rid of this enviousness. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, आपने बताइए, if we want to relationship to other living entity, we should respect, and the real heart cleanness happen when we do service, and when we glorify glorify others, our anarthas are go. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Nice class. So Like remember very nice ones you told, like that example of donkeys. So we are try to assess lords. That's why we are getting respects. So when we are not carried out the lords, or we are not able to assess towards Krishna, then that times we are simply just like a donkey. So that is very nice points. And also towards like enviousness. So how to get rid of enviousness? So we have to be respected to each individual living entities, especially on the devotees. And also in that you told like, so everything belongs to Lord. So we have to be respected to each devotees. Then only we can able to chant very nicely, and we can do some services and all. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Many devotees are remaining. 4 like you're mentioning like how we can grow in relationship anywhere. So the foundation of that is the fabric is respect only. So only when we respect by behavior and by service, that is where any relationship it is required, like even among devotees and with the Lord also.
I just add one thing. One is that so the essence is the devotees are accessing Krishna, so we have to respect. The other thing is fault finding. That is everybody has their own problems, but we have to see only the essence because they are trying to access Krishna. If you see that, then automatically you will have a respect because we have gone through, right? So different living entities, moving, non-moving, and different. The final, the topmost people are bhaktas. They are trying to access Krishna. So that way, they are the topmost people. So at least we should respect. Actually, we have to give every respect to everyone, but at least you should do that. So in that way, we'll not find the fault on that. So we have to see the essence everywhere. What is the essence? The essence is they are having Krishna. They are trying to access Krishna. That is the most important essence. So we have to see that, not to see other things. That way, and they are all involving in services, different services, right? So Lord is so much pleased. That is why service is given. Service won't come there just like that. The authoritative service, when Lord is pleased, then only you will get service, or otherwise you will not get service. So service is given. So in that way, we have to see only the essence, not fault finding on the devotees. Right. Thank you. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे।